From finmods.com. Great to have you here. In this video we are talking about my latest and newest startup kit for food delivery platforms. So if you think about to start your own Ubereats or DoorDash or Postmate or something like that, this is the perfect video for you. First, we will have a look at my website where I present this startup package, a startup kit for your food delivery platform. It consists of two parts, a financial model and a software template. And then in the later part of the video, we will have a deeper look into the financial model itself and how to build the financial plan. Okay, let's get right into it. The food delivery business is a fantastic business. It is growing massively, and the estimation is that there will be about 2.6 billion users by 2026. And the largest segment of this market is the platform to consumer delivery. Means you set up your own website with food delivery platform, for example, like Ubereats, and then you organize the delivery from the restaurant right directly to the customer. And this largest segment is projected with a volume of $216 billion per year. This is, as far as I remember, a worldwide estimation. So it's a huge market. And of course, there are already some successful companies, for example, like Ubereats or Postmates or DoorDash. But there is lots of space, lots of room for you to start in your city with your own concept and your own specialty of building your food delivery platform. So now the question is, if you want to start your own food delivery platform, how do you do this and how can I help you? I have two, I think, very helpful building blocks, and I put them together to a startup kit for your food delivery platform. Part number one of this startup kit is the financial model, which I built myself. I've been building financial Excel models for a very long time and for various industries and all kind of industries. And within the last time, I specialized on digital startups. For example, software as a service, you know it, SaaS, or mobile apps, or as we are talking right now, food delivery platforms. And the part two is the software template itself. With this template, you get the whole software within a template to build your food delivery platform. And the coolest thing, which really excites me, is that this template is a no-code template. So you don't have to be a software engineer anymore to start your food delivery platform. You simply buy this template. I think it's $299. And then by drag and drop, the same way as you build a website nowadays with a website builder, or very similar to building a document in Word or in Excel, you build your software. And we have a look at this template a little bit later too. So this is a fantastic package, I think, if you really seriously think about starting your own food delivery platform. This is the package for you. You've got the financial model to raise capital, to convince partners, and you have the template for the software itself. So what else do you need? Of course, a lot of things you need, but this is a great advantage. You get heads up to start out with your food delivery platform, and the costs are reasonable. And this is all available right now for you. And before we get into them, let's have a little look inside the food delivery business. I collected some interesting data that blew my mind, and maybe they will blow your mind too. Okay, so let's have a look. 60% of US consumers order delivery or takeout once a week. Once a week. 60% already use delivery once a week. 31% use delivery services twice a week. Wow. And 34% of consumers spend at least $50 per order when ordering food online. So it shows there are a lot of customers that want to spend a ton of money on food delivery. Revenue is projected to reach $339 billion in 2022. And the revenue growth, is estimated at 8.29%, 8% per year until 2026, and the projected market volume is $466 billion. And the largest segment, as we already mentioned in the intro, is the platform to consumer delivery, with a projected market volume of $216 billion per year. A huge market. And one more interesting metric, the ARPU, this is the average revenue per user. The ARPU for online food delivery is $175 in 2022. So customers are spending about $175 per year on food delivery. The online food delivery segment will grow, at least this is the estimation, to 2.6 billion users per year by 2026. So about 1/4 of all humans on Earth will use food delivery. 25% penetration. That's massive. So there's a massive market growing right now. And it's not settled right now. Yes, Ubereats, Grubhub, and DoorDash, they are top food delivery apps and leaders. You can see by the numbers they are making massive revenue. Ubereats has a revenue of $4.8 billion in 2020, a 153% increase year on year. $30 billion in gross bookings. 30 billions. They have 66 million users in more than 6,000 cities, and they support 600,000 restaurants. So, okay, they are already huge, but I think the secret is that they all started in one city, and this is what you can accomplish too. Within your plan, you set up your concept, you build a financial model, you build your software, and you start it within one city. And then you improve your concept, you gain traction with your marketing and so on, and then you can also grow. And as the market is so extra large, super large, there is so much space for you and for every new concept within the food delivery business. So there's enough room for every new startup to present its concept and to make sales. The other competitors like Grubhub and DoorDash are about similar by the size. Yes, well, they show that there's a lot of growth going on within this new market size, this new market. Okay, so now let's have a look at part one of this startup model, a startup package. This is the financial model. And the financial model, I made this in Microsoft Excel, and here we have an image with some hotspots and infos which you can click on. I think the most important, the main point, what helps you, the main benefit of this financial model, besides that it creates a financial plan for your startup, is it enables intuitive modeling. What do I mean with this? This page we see here is the assumptions page, and this is you can call it your new financial command center. And this is the place within my financial model where you build your financial plan, where you enter your assumptions into the yellow cells. The yellow cells are the input cells for your assumptions, for revenue, for marketing, for expenses, and for financing. And on the same screen, you get on the right-hand side feedback about the results. This means when you enter a new fee model, maybe you change the delivery fee from 15 to 20%, you can immediately recognize the impact on the results, on the revenue, on the expenses, on profit, and so on. And on the right-hand side, you get a summary of your most important financial metrics, like revenue. COGS means cost of goods sold, expenses, EBITDA, revenue. MAU means the monthly average revenue, monthly active users, the monthly active users, MAU, the users which are active each month. MRR is the monthly recurring revenue. And you also get the UAC, which is the user acquisition cost, which describes how much you have to spend to acquire a new user. And this number is very helpful because when you compare it to the ULTV is the user lifetime value, you can find out whether your marketing is profitable or not. If the UAC is lower than the ULTV, you have profitable marketing. Let's have an example. For example, let's say the ULTV for a new user is $108, like here in this image. And we compare it to the ads UAC with $5. $5 is much lesser than $108, and this means in this case your marketing by ads would be super profitable. And this is just one example how you can develop profitable marketing campaigns within your financial plan. Here's an overview of the features and benefits. It's industry specific, so this financial model is specifically built to describe or to build a financial plan for a food delivery platform. It's ready to use. It's very easy to use. Easy, why? Because the input cells are all yellow marked. The other cells are formulas and are protected within Excel. You can use it also within Google Sheets. But one word of warning, within Google Sheets, the cell protection does not work because it does not exist in Google Sheets. This means you have the danger of editing or changing formulas which you are not intending to. So I would recommend to get Microsoft Excel. It's I think $100 per year or something like that within the Abo, the subscription. And then you have the full advantage of Excel. Also, you have all the perfectly designed charts and the protection of the sheet and the formulas and so on. So it's really a good thing to use it in Excel. This is my recommendation. Yes, modeling becomes intuitive. I think this is a small revolution, but it's a revolution, I think, in building financial plans, because all the other financial models I know, you have the input sections and then you click somewhere else where you have the results, and then you click back and forth. And so this is something I realized that can drive the planner, the founder, a little bit crazy. And so I built this specific one screen assumptions page where you get the feedback immediately on one page. And you stay on this one page, and you can refine your inputs for revenue, for marketing, and so on. And you have always the most important key performance metrics inside, your profit inside, and you can build your financial plan intuitively. And I think this is a huge advantage. Well, I also make videos like this one and tutorials. I will show you how to build the financial plan later on. You can build the revenue, and this financial model specifically is made to emulate the Ubereats pricing. if you click here, here's the link to the Ubereats pricing model. And we have a little overview. Ubereats right now in March 2022 has 3 different plans: the light plan, the plus plan, and the premium plan. The main difference between them is how many new customers you get. Means how much marketing power are you going to buy? With the light plan, you only get customers. You will only be visible on the app for people who are looking for you by name. So you won't get any new customers with the light plan. Therefore, you only pay 15% fee for delivery orders and a 6% fee for pickup, which is always the same. The pickup fee is always 6%. But you don't get any new customers from the app as a restaurant. If you want to get new customers, you have to book at least the plus plan. There you will be shown in the home screen and search results of the Ubereats app. So you pay not 15 but 25% fee, and you get some new customers from the app. And if you want to get really a ton of new customers that don't know you yet as a restaurant, from the point of view of your customer as a restaurant, you can book the premium plan. You pay 30%, which is a lot, but you get a lot of marketing power. Your business will show higher in the home screen and search results of the Ubereats app, which means you get a ton of traffic, and at least there's a guarantee also at least 25 orders per month and so on. So this means you pay more, but you get much more marketing power and new customers. And of course, you can also collect the email addresses and the contact data of these new customers, and you can build your list and improve your marketing power. So this is the model that I took as a template and integrated within this financial plan here, which we will have a look a little bit later then. Then you can build the marketing campaigns. There are 4 marketing campaigns: website, online ads, email marketing, and influencer marketing. And of course, we need expenses, server hosting, and so on. Financing, the equity, loan, and so. And what's a huge advantage of this model is that it's expert built. The expert, that's me. I've been building financial models and Excel models for many, many years and many different industries. And well, I think this is a huge advantage for you. Because the quality of the model is much better than the quality of a model of someone who hasn't done it yet, or maybe just once in a lifetime. And my financial model and also the software template will save you a lot of time and money, because you don't have to waste all the time to build this model. This was a lot of work, and it takes also experience and some knowledge, of course, to build the 3 statements for income, cash flow, and balance. And the balance should balance at the end, yes. And this all takes some time, and there's also a learning curve, of course. And at the beginning, when you start out to build your first financial model, you will do some mistakes. That's normal, and you will learn to identify the mistakes and so on. But all this takes time, and time is money. So this is a huge advantage for you. You just start out with this template, and of course, you can adapt it to your own needs. You can change everything if you want, and make it a perfect fit for your business plan. Here's a slideshow with the about this financial model, and you can also download the demo PDF with just one click. There is no opt-in or something like that necessary. It just takes a few seconds to load, and here we are. Here's the PDF, and then you can look at the whole financial model in detail. And if you say, wow, Peter, that's great, I want it, then yes, I have a good message for you. You can get it right now. Get the financial model right now. Just click on this button, and this is my page on Gumroad, and here you have a preview. You can buy it. I want this. Click here, buy it, and start your financial plan. So now, before we start with the financial model, I would like to give you a short overview about the software template 2, which is part 2 of the startup kit. This software template is built by an agency which is called Zero Code. I'm an affiliate partner with Zero Code. This is a great agency. They specialized on building software templates for software apps on the base of Bubble.io. And Bubble.io, I think, is a revolution within software development, because Bubble.io is a no-code system. And this is what it makes so interesting. Until right now, a few years ago, if you wanted to build a new software, what did you need? You needed to write code. And I don't know how to write code, and a lot of people, business people who have great ideas, don't know to write code too, and they don't have, let's say, $100,000 to hire a team of software engineers, because that's a lot of money. And no code has the advantage that you can build software apps much faster with at much lower cost. And the difference is about 1 to 5 or 1 to 10, which means formerly, if you had to spend about 100K for a new software application to develop it, you can build the same software application within no code for about $10,000 to $20,000 instead of $100,000. So this is a huge mega advantage. And the coolest thing is, you can already so now also buy a template for this no-code software, for this no-code apps. And the template in this case for this food delivery platform, which is ready to start and provides all the bells and whistles you need to build a food delivery app, you can get it for $300 or something like that, $299. And if you use my discount code here, this 0VXN62, you even get a 5% discount, and I get a little affiliate commission, which makes me happy, and I thank you for this. Okay, so let's have a little short view on this on this software template. We just click here right now, get the software template, and then you get directed to the website of Zero Code, which I already mentioned. And here we have ET, the food delivery platform, like Ubereats template. And the cool thing is that my financial model is a perfect match for this food delivery software template. And here you can watch a video, which you can watch also, of course, without me. And we just start the web demo, and to show you the software. And here we have it. You can try it and test it online. Here you have the view of a customer, which can remove the banner. And now we have the software platform. Naked, so to say, without the advertisement, and you can log in. I'm already logged in as a customer. You can click here on demo and say I'm a restaurant owner, for example. So we have 4 different user interfaces: the customer, the driver, called courier, the restaurant owner, and the admin, that's you, the owner of the platform. So let's have a login, let's say as a restaurant owner. And then you see the interface of the restaurant owner. The restaurant is the Nasi Goreng. And here you see the restaurant gets alerts about new orders, cancellations, and so on, what all that may go on. The restaurant can set up a menu. add categories, add new products, and change prices, and all a restaurant needs to promote its food and beverages on your platform. So this is the interface for the restaurant. We can log out and change one more time and have a short look as the admin. We log in as the admin, and that's you, the operator of the platform. And you see, you can see all the customers. You have access, of course, to all the orders that are going on. My Mac is running a little bit hot, I think. Yes, here we go. Okay, you get all the data you need: restaurants, your drivers, the couriers, overviews, transaction. It also has the payment system integrated. Payment system, user interface, complete software app. This is a fantastic one. And you can change everything. Everything you see and everything you can imagine, you can realize. This is so cool. So even a software noob like me, I'm not a developer. I have expertise within financial modeling and some marketing issues and so on. But I'm not a software developer, and I already built some simple software apps on Bubble.io. And I can tell you that everybody who can handle a mouse and can use Microsoft Word or Excel, or could build a drag and drop website within a website builder, can also now create a software app. And this is cool, because if you nowadays have the idea and the will to start a business, you can do so much more yourself. You can save a lot of money and a lot of time, and you can start the base for your. You can build the base, the software. You can build the financial plan, and with your raw software and with your financial plan, you can convince partners, you can get financing, you can raise capital, and that's the way how you start a business today. And I think this is really super, super cool. So, and when you buy this software template, please don't forget to use the discount code. This is this one. Just copy here. And we go here, and then you click on ET template checkout. And when you come to the checkout, here's the place to enter the coupon code. And then we see, okay, from $2.99 we come down 5% to $2.84. You also save $15, and also I also get a little commission, and we are happy both. So that's cool, I think. Let's come back. Okay, so this is the cool software template. You can also watch this cool video from Zero Code. They show you all the functions and so on about this cool food delivery platform. So the next part, now let's move on. I gave you now the overview, and now we are getting deeper into the financial model. And this is the financial model you can buy from me. And here we are right now at the assumptions page. This model starts here on the bottom. We see the different tabs. It has a cover, it has a manual where many or most of the used terms are described. But the most important page or tab where you start is the assumptions page. Assumptions and personnel. But let's focus now on the assumptions. And so to say, this is your command center, and we have the left side with marketing, revenue, expenses, and finance, where you enter your assumptions. And then we have the right side where you get the results, the summary, and the charts. So the idea is that you start to enter your assumptions. We will do this in a few moments with a new template. and you can observe the changes and the impact on the revenue, on the profit, and so on. And this way, you can easily build your financial models. So I will take now a new one where I only entered the fee structure from Ubereats, and I will build together with you now, right now, a financial plan for your new food delivery platform. And in this case, we start with the revenue. The revenue, you have revenue from, you can, if we use the Ubereats pricing plan, and this is what we emulated and copied here within this financial model, then you have three sources of income and three different customers. You have the restaurants, which pay you a percentage that you send them customers and to buy their food and beverage. Then we have the customers which buy the food from the restaurants. You charge them a service fee and such fees. And we have the drivers. The drivers, on the one hand, get money from us for delivering the food, but they also you can also charge them a service fee, which means they are your customers too, in some sense. So these are the three customer types. You have the restaurant, the customer, the food customer, and the delivery driver. And this is the model which is already entered. And I took from Ubereats because it's very popular and Ubereats is growing massively. So, of course, you can change all these fee models, but I just entered it the way as it is at Ubereats in March 2022. So now let's have a look at the revenue model and start with the restaurant. So for restaurants, as they are our customers, they can present their food on our platform and customers can find their food and buy it and order it. And for this we charge them a percentage. And Ubereats is supporting right now three different plans: the light plan, the plus plan, and the premium plan. As we mentioned, the difference is mainly how much new customers the platform sends to the restaurant. And the more new customers the restaurant wants to acquire, the higher the percentage they have to pay as a fee. So for delivery case, which is probably the most important case, for the delivery case light, you get 15% in this example, which means if the light means the customer, the food customer already knows he wants some tacos from Taco Joe. He goes on the platform and he searches for Taco Joe, and then he finds Taco Joe and he orders his tacos, and the restaurant, the Taco Joe, pays 15% fee to the customer. But let's say now there's a customer who wants to order tacos but doesn't know Taco Joe. He just enters taco and then if Taco Joe booked the plus plan, he will show up and the customer can order. And the premium is when the Taco Joe ranks very high within the platform and gets a lot of more new customers. So this is the difference: 15% for light, 25% for plus, and 30% for the premium plan, where the restaurant gets a lot of new customers. With the plus plan, some new customers, and with the light plan, no new customers. So only customers who already search for a specific restaurant. The pickup fee is the fee that you charge to the restaurant when the customer buys over your platform, but picks the food up by himself. Okay, so this is always, in this case, 6%. And self-delivery is the case when the restaurant organizes the delivery itself. In this case, you charge, for example, 15%. And of course, the delivery has to be with the delivery, you have to execute the delivery, which means you have to organize the drivers, of course. That's your job as the food delivery platform. That's your core competence, to pick up the food from the restaurant and to transport it, to ship it to the customer. Okay, so now we have 3 different plans and 3 different delivery methods: light plus premium, delivery, pickup, and self-delivery. Now we have to define the plans by shares, which means when we have to define how much percent of the restaurants are booking light, how much plus, and how much premium. The sum of all 3 has to be 100%. If this is the case, then you see okay here, check okay. If you, for example, let's delete this one, you just enter 50 plus 20 means 70%. So they are missing 30%, and then it tells us error. So the sum of these 3 has to be 100%. So let's enter 30% again, and so now it's okay. So in this case, we assume that 30% of our restaurants book light, 50% book plus, they want some new customers, and 20% wants the full package and lots of new customers. Then the next assumption is the shipping by shares. And we have 3 different delivery options. We have delivery, which means you, the platform, the food delivery platform, delivers with its drivers. Then we have pickup, which means the customer drives to the restaurant by himself and picks it up. And we have self-delivery, which means the restaurant delivers it itself. It organizes its own drivers, and you only bring the booking, you only offer the booking to the restaurant and the customer. And we also have to do the shares. We have to define the shares. The sum also, of course, has to be 100%, as in this case, 60 plus 20 plus 20 equals 100%. Delivery, pickup, and the self-delivery must equal to 100%. If this is not the case, let's delete one, then we have this error message. Error, of course. We need 100% to make this model correct. Okay, so of course you can change it. You can say, okay, I think no, delivery will be the standard case with 70%, pickup will be seldom only 10%, and self-delivery sometimes with 20%. It depends very much on customer behavior and on how you market it, of course, and many other factors, but you can change it and adapt it to your needs. Okay, so now you have the fee model for your restaurants. Now we move on and go to the fee model for your customers, because the ordering customer, the guy who gets the burger or the taco, also pays you a fee to the platform. In this case, we have we copied it, as I told you, from Ubereats. We have a service fee, we have a delivery fee, and we have a small order fee. These are the 3 different fees that customers pay at Ubereats. The service fee is a percentage of the order volume. In this case, 15%. You can also enter a minimum service fee, for example, $3. Then we have the delivery fee, which is a certain amount of $1, for example. And we have a small order fee, which means when customers are only ordering 1 coffee for $3 or something like that, then you can define the share of the small orders and the small order fee itself. In this case, we assume that 20% of all orders would be small orders. You can change it to 10%, for example. If this is the case, if you have a small order, you get an additional small order fee of $2. And there are 2 further important metrics for the customer, which are the orders per month, and the order value, the average order value. So this describes the behavior of your average user, of your customer. The orders per month means how often is your customer ordering on your food delivery app. 1.0 means that exactly one order per month. Let's say 2 orders per month is the average amount of orders. And the order value. The order value in, for example, $25, or let's say $30, would be the average order value. And finally, for the revenue, you have the driver service fee, which is the fee you charge to the driver for providing him with this driving business. And Ubereats is charging 25% from the driver's income. That exceeds a certain minimum fee. We will talk about this minimum fee a little bit later. Okay, so now we have a complete revenue model. And next we have a look at the general area. The first month is simply the month when you start your business. Let's say you start in February 24. You enter February 24, and then this models then you have all the dates for each month of your business plan correctly according to your starting date. Okay. Then users at M1. M1 is the month 1, your first month in business when you start with your business. If you already run a food delivery app, you should have customers, for example, let's say 1,500 customers, which are already ordering. But if you start from scratch, just leave it blank. The user churn rate per month. This is a super important metric which has huge impact on your financial model and your results. The churn rate describes the percentage of users you are losing each month. With your marketing measures and your campaigns, you are winning new customers every month. But you don't only win customers, you also lose customers. And the churn rate, so to say, is the dark side of marketing. And it describes the percentage of users you lose. If you do great, you can get in the single digit area, let's say 5% or something like that. Yeah. If you do poor, you would be in the 50% area or something like that. That means for a food delivery platform, 50% churn rate is probably a very bad rate. But let's assume you lose 10% each month of all your customers. This would mean, the line below shows you the user lifetime in months. This would mean that your customers would stay loyal for 10 months. If you change it for, let's say 7%, the user lifetime would be 14.3 months. So the churn rate is also the backside of the user lifetime. Okay, so now we have a revenue model and we have the churn rate, and then I would suggest we start with our marketing. If we have a look on the right hand side, we see that we only have expenses yet, but no revenue yet. Yeah? Which expenses do we have right now? We just have a look at our income. These are personal expenses. Why personal? Because in the personal tab, there is some staffing already entered in, which we have a look a little bit later. But of course, we haven't made any sales, so we also don't have COGS and so. Okay, let's start with the marketing. We have 4 different marketing campaigns. We have the website, we have ads, we have email, and we have influencer marketing. Let's start with the website. You have your food delivery platform website, and through Google you get organic traffic, and the organic traffic is the amount of people that visit your website each and every month without that you have to pay for it. So this is free traffic, free, partly free, because you will have to do probably content marketing, but you don't pay for ads to get these clicks. So you could have, let's say, you could start with 1,000 visitors per month. And these visitors, a certain percentage of these visitors is going to book something, which is the conversion from traffic to user. Let's say you have 100 users and you have 100 visitors, and 3 of the visitors are going to order some food. So, which means you have a 3% conversion rate. And now we are starting to build and to make revenue, finally. As you saw, as I entered the 3% conversion rate, all the data on the right hand side changed, or a lot of data changed. You can also consider a growth of your organic traffic in percent per month, because your website traffic will become more and more over time. For sure, if you do content marketing, if you write blogs and do videos and all this stuff, to get more traffic and more visitors. And you can also plan this growth. Let's say you plan a 10% traffic growth from month to month because you're doing a lot of content marketing. Then we see also the website alone starts to generate a lot of traffic and revenue. This cell here, the max new organic users per month, is a kind of cap. If you say, okay, I want to limit the growth on my website to a certain amount, let's say to 10,000 or let's say to 1,000 visitors, then you also cap this new, then you only gain new organic users in excess of 1,000 users per month. So in this case, this is a way to limit exponential growth. You still have growth, but you limit it. You limit the exponential growth. Let's say you can limit it to 100, and you see this reduces the growth of your website massively. This is a way where you can limit growth of new organic users for your platform. If you just want to keep it open, just put in a very high number, like 9 million new users or something like that per month, and then all the exponential growth is possible and open. Okay, let's move on to ads. First, we define PPC budget per month, which is the money you are willing to spend for advertisement per month. Let's say, for example, you start with $300 per month. Next is CPC, which is the cost per click, the amount you pay to Google for getting one click on your food delivery ad. Let's say this is $1 per click. You can also plan the increase of your budget in percent, similar to the website. Let's say you plan to increase your Google Ads budget by 3% per month. And you need the conversion from click to user, which means the way that the funnel is, you show the ads on Google. Someone clicks on it. He gets on your landing page, and there the user decides whether the visitor decides if he becomes a user or if he leaves. Leaving or user, and this is called the conversion from click to user. So let's assume a normal conversion rate of, let's say, 3%, which is quite low, because I think the search intent could justify a much higher conversion rate of, let's say, 20% or something like that. We leave it with this, for example, 20% conversion, because if the customer is searching online on Google for tacos, food delivery, and he finds your ad where you offer him tacos that you deliver to him, the offer and the search intent match perfectly, so you will have a much higher conversion rate than the regular e-commerce conversion rate of, for example, 3%, and so there are conversion rates of 10 or 20% or even more possible. Okay, so now we have our ads budget, and we see the UAC for ads is $5, which means you pay $5 to acquire one customer through Google Ads. The UAC is also shown here, ads UAC. You see here $5 over the time in month 12, month 24, so month 12, month 24, 36, 48, and 60. So the years 1 to 5, you see the development and the cost of the ads that you have to pay to gain one customer. And as I told already in the intro, you can compare the UAC, the user acquisition cost, with the ULTV, the user lifetime value, and then you see whether your marketing is profitable or not. For example, if we change the conversion rate to 2%, you see now the ads UAC is $50, but is still profitable with this ULTV. Okay, so we just leave it with that, and we move on to the next marketing campaign, which is email. You could start with an existing email list. The size of the email list in month 1 could be, let's say, 300 emails. If you have 0 emails yet, just leave it blank, it's okay. And if you have an email list, just enter the size of your email list that you can start with. The opt-in rate, user to email. So now the question is, the user is already someone who uses your platform and who is searching and is a registered user. And the question is, how many of them are opting in to your email newsletter? You could demand this from every user. In this case, your opt-in rate would be 100%. But you can also say, okay, you can also order without the necessity of giving me your email address. Then maybe the opt-in rate is 20%. So it depends very much on your strategy. But well, let's set it for 100% because we say we demand it, that the user provides his email address to log into his account. And then you have the possibility to send an email newsletter to your customer, which is super valuable and brings you a lot of traffic and sales. As you will see, email marketing is probably the most profitable marketing campaign you can do with such a platform. The email opt-out rate is, so to say, the dark side to the email opt-in rate. You will not only win and get new email addresses, you will also lose some of them each and every month because they will opt out, or it's as it is normally. And this could be, for example, let's say 3% of all your email addresses could opt out, and 100% of all new users opt into your email newsletter, and so your email list will grow from month to month. So then send emails per month. This is the amount of messages you are sending to your list of email addresses. Let's say you send one email message per week, which would be about 4 messages per month. And then we come to conversion email to user. So you are sending out the promotion email messages to your email list, and some will click on it and some will become user again, because only because they are on your email list doesn't mean that they are active users. Because of the churn rate, you will lose customers again. But through your email marketing, you can reactivate lost users. And so you can define the conversion from email to user, which means he gets how many of the addressed email addresses will become a user again. Let's say 2%. You can reactivate 2%. You also pay an email provider fee, probably, because when you use a professional email marketing service, let's say $50 or something like that per month. And if you don't write the email messages yourself, you may you will have to pay copywriting cost per email. For example, let's say $30 per email, or 100. It depends on you how much you're willing to spend and on the quality of the copywriting. Okay, so now we have email marketing, and we can have a look at the right side. Email UAC, the user acquisition cost. You start with a UAC of $3.79, and the interesting thing with email is it decreases. It becomes lower and lower, which means it becomes more and more profitable. Why is this the case? Because your email list grows, and you only pay once to acquire these new email addresses, and then you can use it as often as you want. You are really the owner of the email list, and this is the superpower of email marketing. And this is the reason why I recommend every startup, and especially every digital startup, to execute email marketing. Okay, so now we finished email marketing. We move on to influencer marketing, which is also a very popular and successful marketing strategy. So you start cooperations, you book shout outs with influencers, and you define the profile of your average influencer you are working with. So first, followers per influencer. Let's say your average influencer has an Instagram account or a Facebook account of 50,000 followers. Then organic reach, which means you don't reach all the followers of one influencer with one shout out. The point is you only reach a certain percentage, which is mostly in the single digit area. For example, on Instagram, it's pretty high, the organic reach, about 8 or 9%. This can be much, much lower with Facebook. I think it's 2 or 3% or something like that. But this is the organic reach, the percentage of followers that you reach with a post. So let's say a 7% organic reach. Conversion reached follower to user. So now we have a conversion value again, and this means the reached followers, how many of the reached followers are becoming a user of your app and ordering food and so on. So let's assume a normal conversion of, well, let's say 2%, 2 to 3% is quite normal and rather low and conservative conversion rate within e-commerce. Then the cost per shoutout. You have to pay, if you don't have your own social media account, you have to pay the influencer for the shoutout, and we assume a fee of $250 for a shoutout with an influencer in the size of 50k followers. This also can vary widely. And of course, the more followers an influencer has, the higher the fee will be. Then shoutouts per month. How many shout outs are you booking per month? Let's say we do 1 shout out per week, so about 4 shout outs per month, and we see our revenue is changing and our profit is growing, which is great, of course. And the increase of shoutouts in percent per month, let's say we want to increase our marketing budget for influencer marketing by 3% per month. So now you see you already have a lot of numbers that you can check out and dive in. Of course, these numbers, yes, well, they are quite high and very optimistic, and we are still a small team and so on. And we don't have put in expenses yet. So now let's move on to expenses. We start with server hosting. Server hosting is has 2 parts: app maintenance and the hosting itself, the cost per user per month. When you start a software business, you will constantly have to improve your software. You have to improve the app, work on bugs, put in new features, and meet regulations and all these things. That means app maintenance, and app maintenance have the constant improvement of your app, and the average value for this is about 20 to 50% of your initial development cost. So the development cost for your software are entered here in finance, investment, software development. Let's say you spend $50,000 to develop your software app. And then we assume that we spend 25% of our yearly cost for constant ongoing app maintenance. Then the cost per user per month. This varies widely on, and it depends very much on the bandwidth which your users need when they use your app. Means when they're watching a lot of video, you will need much more bandwidth. When they only look at pictures of the food you promote, then the bandwidth will be much lower. You will have to figure this out somehow, of course, and I would suggest that you start with a value of about 1 or 2 cents per user per month, because if you only show pictures and don't have a lot of videos, so if you are not a YouTube-like platform, but more an Amazon-like platform that you show text and pictures about the food, you will be more in this area of, let's say, 2 or 5 cents per user per month, for something about in this range. You will have to research the server cost for your specific needs. Customer service. When you take orders and from customers on your platform, there will be some troubling situations and problems for customers, and they will have demand for customer service tickets. Here you can define the percentage of tickets in percent of users per month. Let's say 10% of all of our users are demanding some kind of support. And then you can define the time to solve one ticket in minutes. Let's say it takes 10 minutes per ticket to solve the problem. And you can define the average work week in hours. And this will show you, we will move to the personal tab. This will show you the needed CS employees. In this case, you see here, we start with 0.03 requirement for a customer service employee, which tells us in our case, in year 2, we will meet the need for 1 full-time customer service employee to manage all the customer service tickets. So this helps you to get an idea about how much customer service you will have to plan, and then you can put in the employees and plan the employees that you need to meet this customer service needs. And of course, your business also will have expenses for utilities, fees, admin, leasing, debit and credit card fees, and other expenses. These are expenses that we can easily define with a percentage of sales. So let's say utilities 2%, fees and insurance 2%, administration 2%, leasing 1%, debit and credit card fees, let's say 3%, other expenses 1%. Okay. You get definitions for these various expenses in the manual. If we move on to the manual, you see here expenses. There you can read what are utilities, fees, and so on. Okay, so now we have expenses, and you see our expenses are growing now. And we move on to expenses, office rent. Yeah, well, you can rent an office, let's say for $1,000, whatever you want, how much ever you want to spend for your office. Payroll tax is for, well, as it says, the payroll tax. It depends from country to country. You will have to research it for your country too, but mostly it's between 12 and 15% is about the payroll tax. And then we have the driver. And this is the fees you pay to the driver to bring this taco from Taco Joe's to the customer and to transport the food. And the Ubereats driver fees consist of various parts. That's the pickup fee, a distance fee, a mileage fee, a drop-off fee, and a minimum fee. So these are the example data: $3 per pickup, then $7 7 miles is the distance. It depends on the average distance. One driver moves from the restaurant to bring the food to the customer. So this would be in miles or kilometers, in which country ever you are using this. Let's say 7 miles is the average distance. Then the mileage fee. So the driver gets 20 cents per mile for this distance. And then the drop-off fee. For dropping off, he gets a one-time fee of $2. And the driver needs a minimum fee to gain a reasonable income. You can define it. In the Ubereats case, it's $4.50. And this is important because the $4.50 are free of charge for the service fee you are charging to the driver. And the excess fees are eligible to be to the service fee that you charge to the driver. So in this case, we see the total fees per delivery are $6.40. Okay, so now we have the expenses. Then we can move on to finance. And the finance starts with investment, the investment of the assets you need to buy to start your business. So when you start a food delivery platform, you need software. You can build it yourself. You can hire an agency or software developments, but somehow you have to spend some money. And let's say we start with 100K software development cost. You will maybe you need some computers and legal advice. I don't know, whatever assets and expenses you think about you need to start your business. Then you see the total investments of 130,000. Next, you enter the useful life in years. This is the base to calculate depreciation. In many cases, this will be somewhere in the area of 7 years. This means 1/7 of this 130K you can deduct from your profit to lower the base for your income tax. The income tax that you pay to your financial authority, to the state. And so we see the depreciation per year is $18,571. Next one is financing. You need some money to buy all this stuff, to build the software, to pay your employees and to pay for the computers and the legal advice and all these things. So you need to put in cash capital somehow, and you have two sources. You have cash, which is your equity, the money you own, you and your partners, and loan. This is debt you take on from a bank. So let's say you have $100,000 cash and you take a loan of 50,000. So you put in a total capital of $150,000. You can also define the loan terms in detail. When does the loan start? Let's say January 24. Okay, then the interest rate, let's say 7% interest per year, and the term in years, the term of the loan, let's say you have to pay the loan back within 7 years. And then there are also some miscellaneous assumptions. The income tax rate, this is the tax rate you have, the tax you have to pay to your financial authority in your country. This depends on your country. Let's say 25%, 20%, maybe lower, maybe higher. It depends on your country. And then you have pardon me, accounts receivable, accounts payable, and deferred revenue in percent. I would leave it with this standard values for the beginning. This is only needed to build cash flow and balance. If you want to dive deeper into it, check out the manual, and you can change it, of course. Okay, and so now we have built a financial plan with the most important assumptions. You can also add further stuff in the personal tab. Let's make one example. Let's say the general manager, you define the position. The yellow cells are always the input cells. You can change the position and whatever, the boss, or pardon me, we leave it with the general manager. Let's say a salary per year of $65,000, and then the amount of general managers you are hiring or employ yourself. One probably, but this could be, let's say, if you have customer service employees, this could be more than one. This could be several employees. They just enter the amount of employees you want to hire for each position for each and every month. So you have the salary per year and the amount of employees for each position. There's one specialty, the web content creator, because it's special because this data is used to calculate the website UAC, the user acquisition cost through your website, which means you could spend, for example, $30,000 per year on web content creation on a freelancer or on an employee, however you want to organize it. And this could be one employee. You pay him $30,000 per year, and he is creating content for your website. And this, of course, is the base for growth, for traffic growth for your platform. And then you can repeat this for year 2, year 3, year 4, and year 5. And there you can plan your staffing. Okay, and then you have the raw version of your financial model. You have lots of detailed data in the other tabs. The marketing tab tells you about your budget, the email list size, the UAC and the users, the monthly active users. Then the calculation shows you in detail the sales and revenue you make for each and every pricing model, pricing plan you offer, the number of orders So a ton of detailed calculations. You have the charts tab, the tabs with a bigger size and a higher resolution to look at. And of course, you have the income statement for 5 years. You have this financial data, income, cash flow, and balance for 5 years and for 60 months. So the 60 month is the calculation foundation. It will be calculated for each month in detail, and you get the summary for 5 years. And within the income, you have the revenue, you have COGS, the cost of goods sold, expenses, EBITDA, which is the profit, and net income is profit after taxes. You also have cash flow and the balance, of course. And when the balance check is okay, it means that the balance is in balance. This means that the total assets are equal to liabilities and equity. And if this is the case, then the balance is in balance and the check is okay. Okay, you also have a loan table based on your loan terms you already entered. And we have income, cash flow, and balance per month. And one more important hint. You should take care that your financing is sufficient. And for this, to check if your financing is okay, you should check the balance of cash, your cash balance within the month, within the 60-month tab. Because your if you want to be able to pay all the bills and according to your financial plan, you always need a positive cash balance. This means you must not have a negative cash balance in 1 month. If you have a negative cash balance in a month, it means that you don't have sufficient funds. You are broke. This is the case of being broke. So you are missing 45k cash, and there are different ways that you can change this. You can either put in more financing, probably especially within the first month, first 1 year of business. You will need maybe more funds. Let's increase our loan to 100,000. Let's go back to the balance, and now we see everything is fine now. So now you put in enough cash to finance the business operation. So the cash balance always needs to be a positive a positive balance. It must not be negative. And if it is negative, just think about increasing either the funds, cash and loan, or of course you can reduce expenses or increase revenue by a different pricing model or something like that. Okay, so this was the tutorial to build the financial plan for a food delivery platform. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching this until this point. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have questions, leave a comment or send me an email. I also would appreciate it if you subscribe to this channel. And I wish you lots of fun and mostly lots of success with your food delivery business. Have a good day. Have a great time. See you next time. Cheers.